Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, which means it's yet another long run. I have 20 in store for you all in the Douyin PB Pro. I'm really looking forward to taking this for a long run. When I first tested it, I put 10 miles into it, including some really great pace, hit a 5K PR somewhat accidentally, I knew I was close, so I decided to run with it. But today is seeing how it does on the long run. I have a suspicion that it's going to do extremely well, so let's get after it. I've definitely been struggling this week, mentally and physically, where physically my glute and hip sort of had a big blow up, and I guess it just must have been a muscle strain, because yesterday I went with my run club. I was actually only going to do 7, which is almost 9 fewer miles. It's 9 fewer miles than I normally do on a Saturday. But then everything felt fine. And so I ended up going 14 and a half, which isn't my full typical Saturday mileage, but still plenty. And I'm ultimately going to still be having a down week this week, but so far no hip pain today. It's just really strange. It came like a bolt of lightning on Wednesday, and clearly was the result of my Tuesday double day, but then was gone by Saturday. And I'm not complaining, it's just like a little disconcerting. But so this run is very much getting played by ear. It's a beautiful morning. There's nobody out today. It's cold relative to what it's been. It's 58 degrees, and I love that. Next weekend, if not this weekend, if I feel great this weekend, this is what I'll do. But next weekend, I intend to start incorporating some marathon pace specific training, and I think I'll be shooting for 7:30 pace, and maybe just throwing in a 10-mile stretch of 7:30 pace into my long run next weekend. That's the goal, as long as there's no pain or anything. Later and later every day, and so my starts get later and later every day. I know this is a crazy unpopular opinion, but I want to switch off of daylight savings time so I could get up earlier. I guess it doesn't really much matter. I could always adapt my schedule to be whatever I want it to be. So far, Douyin PB Pro is feeling really nice. It's very pace appropriate for what I've been doing so far. I've been gradually lowering the pace to around 8, just warming up, and it feels increasingly at home the quicker it gets. I know that from my first experience with this, that might have a cap at some really quicker paces, but for today's effort, I'm really just trying to hang on to the week. It's been a rough week. The foam underfoot feels like somewhere between the Edge Paris and the Edge Tokyo for bounciness, with the sensation of the foam being a lot closer to the Edge Tokyo. When standing still, I'm still noticing the negative drop feeling. I saw the stats for the stack and drop on this. This was something that I didn't include in my initial review because I frankly just didn't see them, but it was in the image that I posted anyways, and it's saying 29 down to 25 for a 4mm drop. I do not buy that. it feels a lot taller underfoot. I believe the 4mm drop, it feels honestly flatter than that, even like a zero drop shoe. But my guess where they're getting that measurement is without the insole inside of it. And I don't know how tall the insole is offhand. I think it is actually included in the spec sheet, but I forgot it. I think it might be like 5mm, which would be much more aligned with what I'm feeling underfoot. Something that for me has been mostly true of all shoes that I run in, especially on Sundays for the long run, is that it takes me a while to warm up into the shoe for almost all of them. This is not unique to the Douyin PB Pro. It's the getting the feel for it underfoot, getting warmed up in general, like getting the sleep out of my legs. And I do notice throughout the week that during my second run of the day, I warm up into it easier. Doesn't always mean I have the best run, but like today, right now, I just am having a hard time getting down to the paces I want to. I would love to be sub 8 today overall. Not any like fancy super fast paces throughout the run, but averaging around there, and it's just not feeling like it's coming easy to me. And I don't think it's the shoe. I think it's like this is every single Sunday morning around the 3 mile mark, but here I am at 4 miles and not much luck yet as far as finding my pace. And it gets me thinking, like, how do you warm up for a marathon? Maybe that's a video topic that I could try to synthesize some information on, but so far I have not figured that out. So I don't want to be leading you with untested advice. I'm not trying to be a source of disinformation here. So far what I've done is I've done a few strides for the 2 marathons I've run, and that was probably not enough of a warm-up. But you gotta run 26.2 miles. I don't want to run like one before that. Sounds crazy. But the shoes have basically disappeared on feet. I worked at the fit. They're fantastic. Situation report. I really went for it today. My legs are going to be paying for it tomorrow. But tomorrow's a rest day. And they could pay with well-deserved rest. What's up, everybody? I am back from my long run. It's actually several hours later, and I'm with the Douyin PB Pro. The reason that the on the run segment of this video was so short today is that I just let it rip, and I wasn't exactly feeling 100%. I didn't get a ton of sleep last night, and I was a little dehydrated throughout, and just it was warmer than I was expecting it to be, and it still went amazing. So I didn't feel great throughout the run, but I wasn't thinking about this shoe for almost any of it, and that is such a good sign in a shoe for a marathon distance. I like it really just disappeared on my feet. It was not what I was expecting because on Tuesday's workout, I was getting a lot of plate feel on my right foot, which made me really wary of, taking this shoe for a marathon. And that's why I'm making this long run video to give an update on the shoe. And now I have a challenging decision to make ahead of me where it could be the Metaspeed Edge Tokyo. It could be this, or it could be the Dynafish Denian 1, which I would like to get maybe some faster pace, a couple miles at, 5K pace in the Dynafish to just see at the final kick, or if there's a fast start, how that will cope. Now that I have a workout on this, the Dowen PB Pro and a long run, I think I could take this for the marathon pretty much without hesitation. I might want to run in it with a different pair of socks to see, if that makes a difference with some of the like faster paces plate feel. But this is right on par, if not better than the Metaspeed Edge Tokyo. I know it's a bold claim. I think the Edge is a little bouncier. This has a more favorable geometry for my foot strike. And on Tuesday, I was saying that I felt that this was more of a stride runner shoe. I didn't get that today. So it's interesting that it differed between the two runs. I really thought I was onto something there on Tuesday. It felt on Tuesday like the shoe wanted you to run at a lower cadence. But today I was running at between 180 and like 190, which is for the pace range that I was running today, pretty much what I'll be running at that pace range. So who's to say? Yeah, there's more comparison and testing to be done for sure. Some things that I noticed are they're a little like dents and divots in the foam. And there. And it's probably not a big deal. The other shoe has a bigger one, but that's to be expected in this type of shoe. And especially since I took this on some not fully asphalt trails today, there's really not a ton of options for running around here that are also pretty to film. So I end up on these like cracked and sort of gravelly trails occasionally. But yeah, I think it's going to be more durable than it looks as well. It sort of feels like a magic eraser in your hand. That's what the uncompressed aliphatic TPU feels like. These laces, the first time I reviewed this, they're the serrated laces, but they're a little thicker. It actually did not bother me this time. There's two different types of serrated laces that I've found. There's more than that, but there's the good kind and this kind. This is the kind that you would get on Amazon. They're just a little bit like harder to get a good fit with because they catch on the eyelet chain and whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm a picky lace person. Sue me. Yeah, I think this is an awesome shoe. That's really how I feel about it. It's an awesome shoe. The Dynafish Denian one is an awesome shoe. And the Chaodan Wind 3TR is an awesome shoe. So 3 for 3 from China. Stay tuned. I will make a video on how I went through the whole process of ordering from Taobao, start to finish. I want to give a little bit more detail because there are other general guides on how to do that online, but specifically for the American market, we have a few more steps we need to take than potentially ordering from China to China or from Australia or from China to Australia. So yeah, stay tuned for that. This is an awesome racing shoe, and for sure you will all be kept apprised of which shoe that I end up running in Florence. All right, stay in motion.